Good evening, everyone. Today we have Miss Prerna Sharma. She's a faculty at KK Modi University. Very good evening, ma'am.
Good evening, Arun.
Yeah. My first question to you is that being the faculty of the KK Modi University, what are your roles and responsibilities towards the students and the institute?
Talking about the roles and responsibilities that I have towards the students at KKMU, I would like to focus on one of the subjects, that is environmental sciences. It has been customized in a way that we actually take it up as corporate sustainability, where we're talking about the environmental crisis, the climate crisis, and we also look at various aspects where our students who are getting into business ventures, who could be the entrepreneurs, who could probably be the managers, the future managers, they can understand that it is important to value, it is important to pay attention to environmental factors as well as to other factors such as community, people, and what are they actually doing in terms of every stakeholder that is there in the entire process. So it is very important for the students to understand that, and I suppose this course is something which is very, very important for most of the students to go through, and most of the students who are actually taking up a lot of other courses, they actually go through this course and they would be able to make decisions in a much better way. So this way they would probably be more judicious at making decisions when they are future managers. So right now, this is the role and responsibility that I have, that I can equip the students with the understanding of the corporate sustainability principles, so that wherever they are in future, they can execute it very well.
Very well said, ma'am. Exactly. So my next question was, when you first came to the college, what was your vision and how are you trying to achieve that vision of yours?
Okay, so the first class I had, it is always a great experience to meet new students, and when you look at them and if you find that they're enthusiastic towards learning, that is always a very, very great experience. So the vision is that we are today living in a global world. It's not that you're living in India or in some particular state. It is today a global world where you need to be equipped with the kind of things those work at the international level, things those would be very, very important, and things those are considered to be something that would be adding value to the organizations at a global level. So we are preparing our students to get equipped with the knowledge and empower themselves for the global world, so that even if they join any of the international MNCs today, any of the international organizations, they are capable of understanding the working and the functioning of the organization. So the vision here is to create a global citizen who understands that all the factors, including the environmental factors, taking care of the planet, taking care of the people, taking care of the profit as well, is very, very important. So giving them this core value so that they can understand this very, very well is a very important aspect. And this is the vision I carry with me whenever I am taking and whenever I am facilitating this course to our students.
Right, ma'am. So my next question was, how did you try to bring in practical approach towards environmental sciences and make it industry oriented? As we very well know how the courses are designed in KK Modi University, that bridge the gap between industry and academics.
The idea of the courses those are designed at KK Modi University is always that they should be something that can actually align with the industry requirement. Now, looking at it, one of those things that we actually do in the class is that students go through a case study. And generally, this case study is an industry case study where how is that the industry aligned to the various principles of corporate sustainability? How is that they prepared themselves? And how is that they integrated the environmental factors? How is that they took care of the community, or probably they extended something, or they started to give back to the community? So these are the things, those are actually discussed in a case study. Now, case study is a real-time experience where you can actually see that maybe it is an organization and an organization CEO decides probably about something, there would be a change in the policy that we are actually going to, increase the profit of the organization. But at the same time, we are actually looking at decreasing or minimizing our carbon footprint by probably having the kind of raw materials those are more eco-friendly, or maybe we would have something to do with the community where we can actually extend or give back to the community in a way. Why? Because when it comes to corporate sustainability, it is a more of a long-term consequence, right? So it is not something that, it is a short-term consequence. Today, when we are looking at businesses which are trying to make fast bucks, so these fast bucks can be made. Most of the people can actually do that in any of the businesses. But then how long are you going to be here in the business scenario? How long is your haul going to be? It is going to be decided about the kind of decisions and the strategies that an organization takes. And these strategies are, if at all they are aligned with the corporate sustainability, the organization is truly here for a longer haul. So that is what we actually try to do by bringing in a case study. Apart from that, there are a lot of other things that we keep on doing. A lot of videos, right? When it comes to these videos, these are not randomly played. These videos would have a very, very strategic position in the, let's say, when we're talking about the PowerPoint presentation that we are doing. So if at all we are talking about a particular industry, incorporating various, let's say, corporate sustainability principles in their functioning, so we would probably have the CEO of the company speaking about it. So it is like, I would not say meeting the CEO exactly, but then it certainly gives them the students get a perspective of the CEO directly. So this is how we actually bring in a lot of practical approach. We have also had a lot of entrepreneurs talking about how is that if at all they are getting into a venture, they would actually look at the aspect of if at all they are maybe recycling plastic, right? Recycling plastic. So if they are recycling plastic, but if at all during that process there is some other resource that that is used up much more and there's a damage to the environment done, there is no use of recycling that plastic. So it is important to understand the economics of it as well. So are we really taking care of the resources? Are we really doing good to the environment? Along with it, are we also making the profit, right? Because as a entrepreneur or as a business organization, your eyes would be there on the profit, right? So we are here talking about the triple bottom line. So profit, planet, and people. Yeah.
Exactly, ma'am. Very rightly said. So one other thing I wanted to know, what are the interventions and approaches that you bring in apart from the curriculum of the institute to train or teach your students?
When it comes to, let's say right now we are having online classes because it is a situation of pandemic. But then we certainly organize some of the, let's say if you're talking about today, it is 6th June, 5th June, we had the World Environment Day. So we generally have, a lot of practical activities going on where the students can come together. It was one of the sessions where our students, not one of our group of students, they had worked with an NGO in a drive that was to segregate the waste. So they had actually, included themselves. They had participated in this drive where a segregation of waste was being done. All this was done so that the students become a part of it, become the part of the environmental movement, become a part of, the industry where they can actually see that the processes are environment friendly. They can actually see that it is a circular economy, right? That is being, coming into existence. So these are some of the things that we actually do so that the students can have a practical exposure as well. Apart from that, when it comes to the industry internships that they have, these industry internships, they give ample opportunity to our students to understand the various processes and functioning at the industry. And they come to know about the various principles of corporate sustainability. Those have been incorporated at various levels in the entire process. Yeah.
Right. So another question from my side is, how do you tend to establish a healthy relation and environment in your institute?
I think the best thing is that when you have your students and you can actually ask their perspective on various things. When you seek their perspective, you are seeking what would you actually do in a certain situation. That actually puts the students into a very, very empowering position. Where, let's say, when we're talking about the projects that they do, these projects, they allow the students to be in the shoes of a manager, right? Where they can be taking the decisions on behalf of the company. They are maybe not a part of that company, but during these projects, they actually do a lot of research about the project. They understand the project. They come to know about the kind of, the pros and cons. They come to know about the kind of challenges the company is facing, and they try to offer solutions to it. And I think it's a very, very empowering thing to do for a student who hasn't actually gone out in the world, and he is actually trying to give a solution to a company that is actually a robust organization in itself, but is facing some challenges. But with the kind of skills and knowledge the students have acquired, he would like to give those solutions. And this is something that actually builds that kind of a relation where the faculty doesn't remain somebody who is always telling you something. The student can also come up with their ideas. They can put forth their ideas, and those ideas are also considered. So this is how I think that balance is created, where the facilitator and the student, both of them, they actually bring in something to the table, and the learning becomes very, very enriching.
Right. So my next question is, what are some of the biggest challenges you see both for the management education in general and for KK Modi University specifically?
If we just talk about management or if anything else today, the biggest, I suppose, something that is looming on the world is the pandemic, right? So in this situation, there are quite a lot of things. Those have actually gone haywire when it comes to a lot of livelihoods, when it comes to a lot of business ventures, a lot of organizations. They have, when it comes to the kind of effect that they have, it has not been very, very good. So when it comes to management, it is very important to understand that we really need to think a little out of the box. Along with the kind of challenges that we have seen during the pandemic, one of those very important things that has happened is that it has actually opened up a lot of possibilities and opportunities as well. I don't think so we would have been having this kind of an interview online if at all the situation was normal, right? But then people have adapted to the situations very, very, quickly. Organizations, governments, institutions, they have adapted to the situations very swiftly. And this is something that has opened up a lot of opportunities and a lot of possibilities as well. So I would say that there are challenges in terms of management, in terms of, a lot of other aspects, but then there are equal number of opportunities as well. It is time that we all actually look forward to these opportunities. And one thing that's very important is to stay abreast with everything and to be a kind of a creative learner who can be adapting to a new situation very quickly and being creative in coming up with new things. So this would be something that would really enable a lot of students, organizations, and people to overcome challenges.
Exactly, very rightly said. So my second last question is, what is the importance of corporate environmental sustainability in organizations as of now?
See, when we are talking about organizations today, and any organization that is trying to invest into the planet, giving back to the community, is not doing a charity. It is actually an investment. It is a well thought strategic decision that the corporate organizations are taking, because they know that in the longer run, if they are making a difference to the people's lives, if they are actually contributing to the environment in some way or the other, it is actually going to have a huge impact in the long term. So it is something where you have to look at things like short term versus long term. So whether you are here to make money very quickly, make very quick bucks, but then if at all this is something that is going to degenerate your entire system, or it is something that is not going to allow you to be there in that space for longer, it is very, very important to understand that for to be there for a longer haul, the business organizations, they are actually investing into the principles of corporate sustainability. They are actually becoming a transformed organization. There are steps to those transformation. Integrating those principles is at times very difficult. Why? Because you already have a setup. Now you try to do something which is more environment friendly. You really need to change the technology. Probably you really need to come up with some kind of raw materials. Those are probably different than what we are using right now. It actually changes, and it actually is a kind of disruption. But this disruption is something that is eventually going to give a lot of profitability to the organization in terms of when it comes to the long-term consequences. So right now, maybe it is not something where you can actually say that today I invest in the environment and today I invest in the people and I start making lots of money and my organization becomes profitable, but over a period of time. But then that economics also has to be worked out by the organization, because the organization cannot actually embrace the environmental sustainability or doing something for the community at the cost of the profit. So they have to design things in a way where they can strategize things in a way where the corporate sustainability principles are also included and they are making profit as well. So, and that is how I suppose that kind of wisdom has come to the organizations. That kind of wisdom has come to a lot of managers and the people who are actually driving the organizations. And that is what I really want, or that is what we at KKMU really want our students to be knowing, that this is how they take it forward, by understanding the corporate sustainability, its principles, its fundamentals, and how is that you can actually strategize, or how is that you can take decisions those are aligned with the corporate sustainability, and how is that you can transform an organization by having incorporated these principles there.
Yeah, exactly. There is a need of an hour to inculcate all of these, considering the profitability of the organization not hampered along the way. So my last question to you is, with 15 plus years of teaching experience you take with you, what is the best advice you can give to the younger upcoming generations?
The younger upcoming generation, I suppose the best thing about them is that they can actually think a little beyond what probably the earlier generations could, by, because the kind of exposure that they get, the kind of platforms that they get, those are amazing. But then I would like to suggest and I would like to advise the students who are coming to KKMU or any other university that it is very important that you actually dream big. Dream big, where you are, when it comes to Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam's quote, where it says that dreams are not the ones which you actually see while you're sleeping. It is actually the one that actually doesn't let you sleep, right? So it is very important to dream big. It is very important to have your dreams in place. But then at the same time, you should always have, that kind of capability where you can take the failures with a pinch of salt. So failures are always stepping stones. So never ever, get, maybe when it comes to those failures, always see them as learning and move towards those dreams consistently by working hard and by being dedicated. So one of those things that I would like to say is that any organization, it might actually start having artificial intelligence or any kind of technology, the fast tech technology, any kind of technology, but then there's some of the things those would never ever go out of something that is required, right? So one of those things happens to be your integrity, your character, your dedication, your creative learning, and how is that you're adaptable to new situations. These are the things those are required to be there in the job market as an entrepreneur or as a person who is working for organizations. Wherever you are, these are some of the things those would always be required, irrespective of the kind of age that we move to. So this is going to be my advice for most of the students, that keep chasing your dreams, but then never ever get disheartened with the kind of failures. You can always get up and start again.
Right, exactly, ma'am. So that is a lot to take for us as a learning from you, and about the upcoming generation. And thank you so much for taking out time and coming here on the Sunday
Thank
evening.
you.
And thank you so much.